What's up, guys? I just got back from watching the Dark Towers movie, and I hated it. I greatly despised it. It's got on my nerves terribly. What happened was, so the movie opens up on Jake, and if you read the books, the books open up on Roland. Jake is pretty much the main character of the whole movie, and they condense it so much, they took all 7 books and tried to put it into one movie, which was just a terrible idea in my opinion. So some people have brought up the point that at, he has the Horn of Eld in the movie, so it's supposed to be like his next rotation through the Dark Tower universe, but that doesn't really seem to be an acceptable explanation to me, just because you don't see the Horn of Eld at all in the movie. Supposedly it's in the back part, like certain scenes maybe you can see it, but that's a little bit far-fetched because you don't see the horn do anything throughout the whole movie, but somehow it changed the timeline so greatly that they took out multiple scenes from the book. Like even the first one, they didn't even cover most of the stuff in the first one or any of the books in particular. There's literally like 4 characters that had names in it. It was like Roland, Jake, Walter. They call him Walter, even though it's Walter O'Dim. I've never heard Roland. Just call him Walter. I don't remember Jake doing it either in the books. It's Walter O'Dim, I'm pretty sure, throughout the whole thing. And you don't even figure out his real identity or anything, like any of his other names, any other things he's done. It's kind of hinted at, like, you know, um, how in the books he basically killed all the gunslingers or conspired to make it happen. And it's kind of hinted at. It actually looks like in the movie he's the one that killed them all, kind of by himself. And, you don't see Cuthbert or anything like that, and that's another reason why I don't think the Horn changing the universe and making it like the successful run through for Roland and like an acceptable excuse for this, because it starts with Roland with his dad, who I would assume looks more like Court from the um, depiction of Court and whatnot, but they say it's his dad. Like he calls him his dad and all that. And basically, Walter kills his dad, Walter O'Dim, even though they call him Walter. That still stuck in my head. But and then yeah, there are just so many discrepancies, and I'm assuming that's the Battle of Gilead. I think that's what it opens up with. Roland is with him and his dad at the Battle of Gilead, which doesn't even make sense to the story. But if you were to think it's like him taking another take through the Dark Tower world, I would assume it'd start where it says the man in black fled through the desert and the gunslinger followed, which that part is brought up in the movie, but that's not where it starts. That's pretty much after Roland and Walter and them had their first meeting in the movie, and it's so aggravating. Jake's apparently his mom's trying to put him in a mental institution because he has visions, even though like in the books he doesn't really show the touch and like get the visions till later on when he's already met Roland. But apparently from the start he's got his psychic powers and all his mental abilities. Um, I know he does show exceptionally strong towards the end of the book series, but it's so aggravating. And yeah, I'm talking about spoilers a lot. I know I'm gonna put it in the title, just a disclaimer. But it aggravated me so bad because it could have been so much more. Like when I heard that, I know the first person was Ridley Scott said he was going to do it. I don't really have too much faith in that because on Alien series it leaves too much up to uh, too much up for grabs and stuff like that. It doesn't really explain. Like a lot of people just have to figure it out and kind of explain it to everybody else. That's how I see it, anyways. Um, it's a little bit too vague, I think. And then I heard John Howard or Ron Howard was going to take it over. Sorry, and then make a TV series after he made the first movie, and I was like, oh, that sounds dope. I'm so excited. Like, it's gonna be great. And then Some Nicolaj Bar something something took it over, and he's the one that actually finished the movie. And oh, it was like, so my sister kind of liked it because she's like, oh, it's a happy like ending for Roland and whatnot, but I didn't like that, and she's like, it was like Dark Tower meets Disney, and I was like, well, I mean, if that's what you're looking for, but I was hoping kind of like just more of a visual depiction of the books. I know that would be hard, but I mean, anything would have been better than that. It really doesn't have any more, like, too much to do with the original story at all. And like I said, I can't really buy it being another cycle for Roland. Um, yeah, you don't meet half the characters you would have met. There's not even any really mention of them. Um, there's just not. The action scenes were cool. It just kind of seemed like they were trying to turn like a quick profit off like something that fans like most fans that like the Dark Tower series are diehard fans. Like they're people that read the books and then they love them because it takes a lot to get through the series. There's so many like heartbreaking moments. There's so much weird stuff that happens because like with Stephen King was midway through writing the books, he had his accident, and a lot of people noticed, or it's of my opinion at least, and some other people that I've talked to, that his writing style changed pretty drastically through that period, and he was writing the books from before that period till after that period, and it's even referenced in the Dark Tower when Jake saves Stephen King from the truck that could have killed him in real life or whatever, his accident, and it's really weird they made Jake the main character anyways, because he doesn't even make it to the end of the journey. I guess it does make sense in a way if you wanted to make a happy ending for Roland, because from the point where he enters the desert, which would be the next cycle, Jake was kind of like the main character he bonded with, I guess, because he kind of, it was like a son kind of character to him, even though Roland's not too emotional. Like, you could tell he bonded with his second quartet really well, but still wasn't a very emotional guy. Um, the one in the movie seemed a lot more friendly than the Roland that you would meet in the books. But overall, I just was not a big fan. And you didn't really get to see much of Roland's like personality throughout it. I think that would have been a good thing to touch on is like expand like being able to see how Roland actually acted. Because his character was kind of bland, kind of just there. It was all pretty much about Jake, and I'm like, it's not how this should be. There's a mention of the Crimson King on the wall, even though he's the main bad guy and he doesn't really show up at all. Like, it has all hail the Crimson King and graffiti on like the wall in the house he goes to enter Roland's world, Midworld, and it's just like, come on, guys. Oh, it made me mad. About had an aneurysm in the theater, I think. Which I might be overreacting. You guys might have liked it a lot, but feel free to comment. Let me know what you think. But I just had to make a video because this movie bothered me so bad. Because I read the books when I was like freshman in high school to like the end of my high school career. So I was pretty into the books for a hot minute. Obviously, I'm a little bit vague on the details of the books because it's been a long time since I read them. But yeah, that kind of movie kind of hurt me, disappointed me a lot. I don't know how they can make a second one with the ending because they saved the Dark Tower, and it doesn't look like they have any need to go to the Dark Tower now that they killed freaking Randall Flagg or Walter O'Dim like in the first movie, and it was dumb. Oh, it's aggravating. It pissed me off. But yeah, thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment, all that.